Hi, my name's Chris Collins. I'm the European Community Manager for Star Wars The Old Republic at BioWare. Okay, so Star Wars The Old Republic, it's the new MMO set in the Star Wars universe from BioWare. Kind of spoken a lot about as a spiritual successor to Knights of the Old Republic. The game itself, any players can choose from one of 8 base classes, and each one of those base classes set across 2 factions, either the Republic or the Empire, have their own storylines. And that's really what BioWare do best, is give each player, depending on what class they choose, a really cinematic and immersive and unique experience for each of their decisions. We also have the sort of standard BioWare choices. So unlike a lot of other games out there in the sort of MMO genre, every quest that you take on, whether it's part of your main storyline or a side quest to help other people, each section has different choices that you can take, and those choices can eventually lead to different outcomes. So for example, you may, playing a Sith character, you may meet up with a Jedi and perhaps either decide to capture him or execute him or set him free. That decision will give you a dark side or light side point or set of points, which will eventually take your character off down a unique path. That character could appear later on. If you execute him, he may not appear later on, and something else may happen as a result with that character not being there. So you could technically play through the same character, or the same base class twice, and come out with a completely unique and different ending. We have a lot of very, very talented writers on the project, all of whom, I mean, everyone that works on this project is a huge Star Wars fan. So that from the get-go is extremely advantageous, because it gives us all the ability to understand what fans want, how fans think, and at the same time we can use that writing skill to create something unique within that sort of the universe of Star Wars itself. So for us, we do get a ton of feedback, especially as a community manager. I see it day in, day out. Players think, oh, they've seen something, they don't like it, but once they actually get their hands on the game, it all makes sense, it all plays out, and it all feels, well, very Star Wars, for want of a better phrase. So we're hoping that very few fans will genuinely be disappointed. I mean, the game itself is its own story. So players learn about how the Republic comes across the Sith Empire for their resurgence. If you know a bit of history, you'll know the roots of the Sith Empire, but that's not necessary to know, because you learn about this latest Sith Empire, the latest Emperor. Characters do appear from other Knights of the Old Republic titles, so fans that have played titles before and know those characters won't be disappointed. There is something in there for them. But new fans to the actual IP itself will learn lots and lots of things, and they will still learn about those characters. And we have new characters like Darth Malgus, just stood terrifyingly to my left right now, and some of the other characters within the game. So they'll get to love new characters, they'll get to learn new stories, and really, really enjoy the Star Wars universe and take it for what it is. Well, for us, I mean, the Old Republic setting is a long time before the movies. When I say the movies, I mean the final 3 and the first 3, obviously. And it builds off the lore created by some of the extended universe titles that are out there, as well as Knights of the Old Republic. So continuity isn't necessarily an issue in the long run, but we do obviously bear that in mind. We do know that there's a lot of stuff coming up in the future. So there's a few Easter eggs, there's a few little bits and pieces that fans of the universe themselves will sort of nod at and understand, and perhaps make a smile. As I say, each of the stories will take people off down a different path. We've already got a lot of information back from the players on what the classes they do love, stories that they've really got involved with. I myself, I really enjoy the Imperial Agent storyline. Other people have said how much they love the Jedi Knight storyline. Each one offers a different experience to the player, but at the same time, we offer lots and lots of new mechanics. We offer standard MMO mechanics with a slight BioWare tweak, something that makes them feel fresh. So the combat, it'll feel very familiar to anyone that's played an MMO before, but at the same time it's a little more immersive. You have lots of, the animations a lot more visceral. There is a lot of stuff in there that will make people who are both new to the genre and experienced in the genre very happy. No matter what sort of player you class yourself as, whether you're casual, the storyline or PvE elements of the game will really suck you in. They'll get you right on the edge of your seat. And we've heard a lot of people saying how much they found themselves just wanting to play a little bit more, and then 6 hours later they're like, oh wow, I've been sat playing for 6 hours. And they would class themselves as casual players. But at the same time, the hardcore players, we have around 15 flashpoints in the game, which are staggered throughout, and then we have different difficulty settings once you reach your Elder content, which is level 50. And we also have operations. The launch will have 2 operations. As well as, if you're a PvP player, we have a number of different areas that people can get involved. We have war zones, some of which we're showing here today. such as Battle for Alderaan, which takes place on Alderaan, very well-known planet within Star Wars lore. We have Hutt Ball, which is kind of a new sport invented by the Hutters, where players have to take control of a ball and run into an opposing end zone. But between them and the end zone are an entire team of opposing players, as well as fire traps, acid pits, walkways that kind of go up and all over the place. It's extremely fun. And we also have Void Star, which we haven't shown a lot of to date, but we're going to be showing more and more as we get closer to launch, which takes place on an ancient Imperial battle cruiser, where you'll find players are combating to either defend the battle cruiser or attack it, because there's information in there which holds sort of information around technology which both sides want to get their hands on. We also have open world PvP elements, in particular some of the level 50 content, where players will fight on a huge sort of battlescape to take control of resources, to take control of characters and vendors, which they can get new and exciting items from. And we also have some really exciting kind of everyone versus everyone chaos on Tatooine. So there's a lot of stuff in there for anyone, no matter what player they think they are.